Hello guys. Where are we? Okay. What I'm gonna do today is learn more about Quizbowl because there are some terms that I want to know that I haven't had really that much time to study. So I'm going to. Ooh. Okay. All right. My voice was down. I'm gonna try to go over some Quizbowl terms today that I've had sitting on paper for a while. I need to move that in my brain because that's obviously very important for Quizbowl. Uh, I have a list of, let's see, these are from 2 matches, and then these are from playing Photo Bowl. Then I've got more on my iPad. That's just like a handful of stuff. So why am I doing this? Well, the main reason is because regionals is coming up in about 2 weeks, and currently we don't know who we're playing against, but we will eventually, whether it's for regionals or sectionals, play one of the best schools in our area and honestly in the western suburbs. So to prepare for that, I do need to learn more and just to make sure to do as much as I can and contribute to the team effort. Now, if this is me watching in like 30 years, I don't have that much on my mind. I'm probably pretty stupid. Well, we'll see how it goes. Well, hi to me in 30 years. Okay, that was pretty dumb. Anyways, on the things I've studied so far, uh, I've sort of looked over the terms for this one match. So a lot of the important things that I want to point out for this match is the semi-conservative property for genetic sequencing for DNA replication. So first, I'm going to explain what that means. Let's find the Wikipedia article. Yeah. So, what does it mean for genetic replication to be semi-conservative? What it says is that you have one strand, right? You have an original strand, and for DNA, it's a double helix structure. So you have a top side and a bottom side, although it flips around. So you have 2 strands, and then when you are duplicating it, what you do is you take the 2 strands apart using which one call it? What do you use to take it apart? Yeah, you use helicase. So helicase is like a scissors, right? Um, which is pretty interesting because helio like sounds like sun. So imagine having something like the sun, like just shining through and then breaking it with the energy. Um, Again, if this doesn't ring a bell, that's okay. I'm just making up mnemonic devices on the way. So I use these sun-like scissors, helicase, to cut up my DNA, and then so I have 2 strands. And then what happens is that the replication process goes with a bunch of enzymes holding it together, and then you make in another strand. Obviously, since it's complementary, you do the complementary bases. And then what happens is each part of the renewed strand gets half of the original strand. That's why it's semi-conservative. So there were 3 original hypotheses out there. It could either be completely conservative. That means you just have one strand, and then based off of that, you build a new one. Or you can have completely random. That is, like it's cut into like different parts, and then you build off of that. Or you can be semi-conservative. So Mendelssohn and Stahl proved that um, DNA or the replication process is semi-conservative in their namesake experiment. Sorry, it's not Mendelssohn's, Mendelssohn's straw. Yeah, so this is right after Watson and Crick, who hypothesized the structure of DNA in 1953. So this is fairly recent. And how they do that was they use radioactive nitrogen. So again, takeaways is that is for DNA replication. It uses helicase to cut it open, which is like a sun-shaped pair of scissors. And it's conducted or it's proven by the Mendelssohn Stahl experiment. in 1958, and it uses radioactive nitrogen, so nitrogen 15, nitrogen 14. All right, that's for term number one. Term number two is also bio. It's about Pavlov. So I definitely know about Pavlov, but I think we just need to know more about what he does. So this part doesn't really matter. I think his career. I think you might ask me, why don't I use ChatGPT for all of this? I actually do occasionally, but I think it's better for me to learn about these things on my own. Because when ChatGPT gives you like bullet points, the learning process is a bit harder. Generally, to truly internalize something, you need to go through it around 20 plus times. And so the process of reading and searching for it, I think contributes to like at least 3 or 4 times. And then obviously explaining this concept to other people contributes to that also several times, since you have to understand it and internalize it yourself to be able to do that. Okay, he won a Nobel Prize in 1904. Institute of Experimental Medicine, St. Petersburg. Physiology. So Pavlov is one of the more prominent figures and one of the founders for physiology, and he's Russian. He contributed to the field and eventually won a Nobel Prize in 1904. Okay, so while at the Institute of Experimental Medicine, he looked into a bunch of interesting stuff. So, gastric function of dogs, yeah, some dog stomachs, and then the function of homeless children. So I think he might have did some weird stuff. Okay, he externalizes salivary gland. Oh, that's interesting. Analyze saliva. Looks like dogs tend to salivate before food was actually delivered to their mouths. So to investigate the psychic secretion, he called it. Experiments on orphan children involved drilling a hole in their cheeks and applying electric shocks. Dang. Okay, this guy's hardcore. Obviously, ethical experimentation wasn't really a thing back then. It's gotten a lot better in like the past 30, 40 years, but before that people didn't really care that much. Unfortunately, but for science, you know. Okay, he was highly regarded by the Soviet government. He was praised by Lenin. Okay, and he really didn't care for Stalin. Sergei Kirkov. Okay, he's a politician. Okay, this is politics. And he died of double pneumonia. Okay, he's the first Russian Nobel Prize laureate, which is not a surprise. Okay. All right, Pavlov was an atheist. Cool. Children's name with V. Okay. Your youngest son died of pancreatic cancer 1 year before his father. That's sad. Okay, so to sum up, what Pavlov did is primarily in physiology, and what he's known for the best is for classical conditioning or conditional reflex. And an example of that is on dogs, where a dog would salivate in an association with seeing things or hearing a sound, like hearing the ring of a bell before feeding, or seeing the technician or the person that fed the dog. So this is sort of like, I know humans do that as well, definitely. Like maybe, feeling excited when you're going to eat, or feeling like uh, some form of response before playing a game. Just the notion of that might excite you, or the feeling before taking a test. But obviously, this doesn't really just generalize simply to human learning conditions. That's why it's, but I mean, it's also a theory from a long time ago. He did experiments on dogs, gastrulation. He did experiments on children and on homeless orphans, which I don't necessarily agree with his conduct. Well, I disagree with his conduct. But yeah, and he won the Nobel Prize in Physiology in 1904, being the first Russian to do so. Okay. Okay, I think that's decent info. All right. Ivan Pavlov. His wife is called Sarah for short, and they have 4 kids whose names start with V. The youngest son died 1 year before his death in 1936. Oh, wow. He lived pretty long. Okay. That was Pavlov. All right. What else? Okay. Other things I had highlighted. The Resolute desk and the Blair House. Okay, so the Resolute desk is the president's desk. It's the big desk given as a gift from France, I think. The French people know how to give gifts. And the Blair House is the house across the street from the White House. Uh, okay, what is perchlorate? I think it's ClO4, yeah. Okay. Okay, it's a ClO4, the negative charge. So 109.5 bond angle for tetrahedrons. Okay. All right. Wilfred Owen. I think I had him highlighted. Okay. He died during World War One. Leading poets during the First World War. Okay. Oh, I think the poem I had highlighted was Whore by Wilfred Owen. Oh no, or maybe it's not related. This is from like, multiple weeks ago. All right, then I might as well just read his Wikipedia entry. He is homosexual. Interesting. Although he did hope to marry a girl after coming back from the war. That is interesting. Okay, but in terms of his contents, his poetry, regarded by many as the greatest poet of the First World War. Verse about the horrors of the trench and gas warfare. He's been writing poetry for some years before the war. Okay. How old was he when he died? Okay, he was 25. All right, that is very young. Yeats was an influence for Owen. Yeats is Scottish, right? Scotman. He's Scottish or Irish? Oh, he's Irish. Okay, Yeats is Irish. Owen was all blood, dirt, and sucked sugar stick, and unworthy of the poet's corner of a country newspaper. In all the great tragedies, tragedy is a joy to the man who dies. If war is necessary in our time and place, it's best to forget its suffering as we do the discomfort of fever. Dang, Yeats. Man, you got a word to say here. So apparently Yeats didn't like what Owen wrote about. Poems, poems. Okay, so Keats and Shelley. I think Shelley is Percy Shelley, yeah, and Keats is Keats. Uh, interestingly, Percy Shelley, his wife is Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. Percy Shelley drowned to death, I think, and he married Mary when she was, I think, around 15 or so, and also dumped his first wife, who suicide after that. It's pretty sad. Mary Shelley's sister married Lord Byron, I think. Either Lord Byron or Lord Tennyson. I think it was Lord Byron. So they are brothers-in-law. It was probably a pretty small circle in the literary sphere. Okay. His great friend, the poet Siegfried Sanson. Why isn't there an article to that? Okay. He was also an English war poet. Paraheim. Assonance. Ooh, what is an assonance? An assonance is a repetition of vowels mid a word. So, for example, you could have like 4 or 5 words with A in the middle. um, like cake, sake, make, bake, lake, fake, Jake, ache. You know, uh, so it's like one vowel in the middle of the sentence. In terms of repetition of sounds, there's also alliteration and consonants. So both of those are on consonants. Alliteration is the repetition of consonants in the beginning of a sentence. One terrible but prominent example being Ku Klux Klan. Okay, okay. I hope I'm not being censored. Uh, an example of a consonant is a repetition of consonants at the end of a word, like friend and send or that kind of stuff. Honestly, bake, cake, make, fake is also sort of a consonant. I think Eminem uses a lot of consonants. Like the ribbity ribbity hibbity. I'm beginning to feel like a rap god. All my people from the front to the back nod. Okay. Sesson's emphasis on realism, contrary to Owen's hitherto romantic influenced style. I mean, that's true if he admires Yeats, Keats, and Shelley. Distinctive, strong patronage. Okay, Anthem for the Doomed Youth. What passing bells for those who die as cattle? Only the monstrous anger of the guns, only the stuffing rifles' rapid rattle can patter out their hasty horizons. Okay, rifles' rapid rattle. That is also an alliteration. No mockeries now for them, no prayers nor bells, nor any voice of mourning save the choirs, the shrill, demented choirs of wailing shells, and bulges calling them from its sad shires. What candles may be held to speed them all? Not in the hands of boys, but in their eyes shall shine the holy glimmers of goodbyes. The parlor of girls' brows shall be their pall, their flowers the tenderness of patient minds, and each show dusk a drawing dawn of lines. 1920. Hmm. Interesting. Turnage. Plans for a volume of verse, which is prefaced, never sells onward published, included in the Hydra. It's the Hydra. Oh, Hail Hydra. Been edited at one time by Owen and featured Sasson. Okay. I wonder if this gave any um, enlightenment to the Hydra from Marvel. Graphic details of the horror, these are never spared. Anthem for the Doomed Youth, which the ceremony of the funeral is reenacted not as a church but on the battlefield itself. The crucifixion of Christ challenges religious belief. Exposure that love of God seems dying. Okay. Here, let me read all these poems. All right, move him into the sun. Gently its touch awoke him at once. At home, whispering fields unsown always it woke him even in France. Until this morning and this snow, if anything might rouse him now, the kind old sun will know. Think how it wakes the seeds. Woke once the clays of a cold star. Our limbs so dear achieved. Our sides, full nerve, still warm, our heart to stir. Was it for this the clay grew tall? Oh, what made Phaedrus sunbeams toil to break the earth's sleep at all? Okay. Futility. Yeah, that's quite futile. Um, yeah, his poems are quite depressing. I mean, war poems. What do you expect? Revive an unconscious soldier by moving him to the warm sunlight on a snowy meadow. Kind old sun cannot help him. Human institutions and human existence itself. Religious nature of the poem's questioning. Famous tomb in Westminster Abbey. War Requiem. Okay, that's futility. Dulce et decorum est. Latin title is from a verse written by Roman poet Horace. Oh, okay. That could have been the poem. Yeah. Quintus Horatius Flaccus. Horace, leading Roman lyric poet during the time of Augustus or Octavian. His odes, just as about the only Latin lyrics worth reading. Be lofty sometimes, yet also full of charm and grace. Okay, so I think the question was on odes. Whether that had anything to do with Wilfred Owen is a question, but I can't really remember. Yeah, but Hoarce is the way you spell horse, not Hoares. Really was unaware of that at the time and was thus confused right now. Okay. For Owen. Okay, let's read this poem. Bent double like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we crushed through the stolge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant self-rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep, many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot, all went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys, and Essia fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time, but someone was still yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. In all my dreams before my helpless sight he plunges at me, gluttering, choking, drowning. If in something dreams you could too pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes withering in his hanging face like a devil sick of skin, if you could hear at every jolt the blood coming gargling from the froth-crumpled lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cut of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, Deus et decorum est, pro ponte mori. It's a line from the Odes by the. It is sweet and proper to die for one's country. Okay, so proper to die for one's country. I think that was part of the question. Deus et decorum est pro partia mori. What joy for fatherland to die. Okay. patrie, or the English word patriot. Okay, so Owen is a patriotic poet. The Parable of the Old Man and the Young. Strange meaning. Okay, well, unfortunately, I don't have that much time to allocate to Owen, so I'm going to cut it off from there. But Owen is a wartime poet, quite patriotic. His friend, what's his friend's name again? I can't remember that. His friend's name starts with an S. Oh, Sasson. Sasson. Yeah, let's look at the Sasson article entry. Sasson means happiness in Jewish. Okay. Poem. Okay. Siegfried Sasson is an English war poet, writer, soldier, editor, and novelist. The Western Front, Military Cross. Okay, books, poetry collection, prose books. Okay. So he lived on, alright. He lived for a pretty long time, yeah. Okay, 80 years old. Nice. War poet. Sasson. Single-handed capture of a German trench. Armed with grenades, he scattered 60 German soldiers. Dang. He was awarded the Military Cross. Wow. Sasson is engaging in suicidal feats of bravery. Sasson was later recommended for the Victoria Cross. Interestingly, because Sasson's poetry style was quite realistic, yet he does the more romantic things. Hamo. Other students. Cambridge University. Aha, okay. In case you're wondering, this is the part about the ABC conjecture, which is somewhat interesting, to say the least. Okay, more literature and poetry. Ode to Self. Poem. Maybe this was part of the ode question, but I don't think there's a notable poem to You Are Entitled. I mean, this is very encouraging, but I don't think this is part of the poem. Okay. Alright. Waiting for Godot. This is part. I think this is the answer to a question. Okay, engage in a variety of discussions, kind of while they await the titular Godot, who never arrives. This is an absurdist play. Okay, this sounds very absurdist anyway. Imperious traveler named Pozzo, the silent slave Lucky, as it pauses to converse with the two of them. Which forces Lucky to carry his heavy bags, okay. That he is on his way to the market, She intends to sell Lucky for profit. Think, the otherwise mute, singing performances. From the sudden dance monologue, turn of academic sounding phrases mixed with pure nonsense. This is sad. I feel empathetic towards Lucky. These messengers from Godot, and Godot will not be arriving tonight, but surely tomorrow. His prescriptions of Godot only for extremely brief or vague answers. Boy. Vladimir and Estragon. Sounds like estrogen. It's grown a number of leaves since it was last seen. They're still waiting for Lucky and Pazzo eventually reappear. Puzzle has become blind and Lucky is now fully mute. Puzzle cannot recall even having met the two of them. Shortly after a spirited encounter, the boy reappears, not becoming before. Not the same boy. Burst of rage. Okay, yeah, this is very absurdist. Okay. The question is, what's the point of that? What's the point of that? Okay. Well, there's certainly some interpretations and implications. Estragon is inert and Vladimir restless. Dang. Do you remember the Gospels? Oh, this is part of the clue. Colored maps of the Holy Land and the planned honeymoon by the Dead Sea. Short-term memory that is porous and suggests that he may be in fact suffering from Alzheimer's. Forgetfulness affords the author a certain narrative utility also. Empty conversations between him and Vladimir. His pain and mental anguish. Voluntary exchange that from Lucky's symbolic desire for another person's thoughts. Mental state. Okay. Sleep. Purgatory. They've been together for 60 years. Means of an extremely long rope. Two jerks and tugs and Lucky's had this. He's been slow. Daddy and Gogo at large. Writ large. Diddy and Gogo. Oh, okay. So it's an emphasis of the two of them. Or it's an amplification. The true slave has always been Pazzo. Culture, refinement, and ability to reason as he possesses. His rhetoric has been learned by the role. Has been learned by rote. Party piece on the sky is a clear example. His memory crumbles, he finds himself unable to continue on his own steam. Ascendancy landlord, bullied and conceited. Kevin Pesterson. The thinking man's pipe, which refers to as a Blair, calls a Duden. social standing. Subservient member of the relationship, at least internally, initially. The theater of the absurd. Okay. Oh, this is at U Chicago. Okay, interesting. Alright. That was Waiting for Godot. Lucky is a character. There was also a question on Jacqueline Dupre, which is one of the legendary British cellists known for the Elgar concertos. Do I really need to know about? Well, the person just beat me on the toss-up because he had a power. I think, yeah, it's pretty important to know all the virtuosos for each instrument. Okay. Oh, Hilary Dupre. I think is that her daughter? I think that's her daughter. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, that's her sister. Sister is Jacqueline Dupre. Wow, she's pretty old. Pretty aged. Flutist Wars was for. Okay. These are just different virtuosos. Okay. What else? Ethylene. It helps plants ripen. Faint, sweet, and musky odor when pure. It's the simplest alkene. Okay. Ethylene, yeah. Ethylene. Or ethene. Okay. The Nile originates around Jinja, which is in Uganda. What else do I need to know? Oh, yeah, okay. The Japanese periods. I think I know this pretty well, but there was a question on the Nala period that I didn't get. Okay, but all the periods in order are the Jomon period, which is like the original period when people were hunter-gatherers, the Yayoi period, where they started to settle down in agriculture. The Jomon period is known for their dogus, for their mud dolls, and the Yaoi period is known for bronze. Following that is the Kofun period, which literally means in Japanese ancient tombs, and it's known for the eponymous structure. Yes, tombs, as you've guessed. Okay, after that is the um, Ahsoka period, or Ahsoka Jedi, which I really don't know that much about. After that is the Nala Jedi, where they first moved their capital, which they had a country by then. They had a capital. It was in Nara, or Nara. It was the uh, oh, but that's not until the Heian period. So in Heian, which is directly after that, they founded Heian-kyo, which is the Heian Palace in Nara, and then later, the next period after that, which was the Kamakura period, they founded the Heijo Palace, which is also in Nara. The Kamakura period is the first shogun, so the first warlord, and after that is the Monomachi period, and then after that the Azuki Momoyama period, and then both of them were during the warring states of Japan, and then after that is our favorite Edo Jidai, the Edo period, and then the Meiji period, and then also the Heisei period after that, which just ended recently as the Japanese emperor stepped down and his son is now in place. Uh, okay. Oh, current Japanese emperor. Oh, Naruhito period. Naruhito. Okay. Akito. Oh, okay, no. Apparently it was not the Heisei. Oh, well, no. Akito is the Heisei period. Okay. And he's still alive at 90 years old. Pretty impressive. Alright, that was, okay. Okay, Rio de Janeiro has the longest annual carnival. Biscayne National Park in Florida. Okay, rhizobium fixation. Rhizobia. What is okay? Bacteria that fixate nitrogen after being established inside the root nodules of legumes. Okay, so this is what makes beans able to absorb nitrogen to the ground, and thus fertile the soil. Fertilize the soil. Rhizobia. Okay, that's the bacteria. Rhizobia. Okay. Madagascar was half the island was owned by France. Okay. Ah, Lavoisier is known, or Antoine Lavoisier is known as the father of modern chemistry. He discovered oxygen and came up with the law of the conservation of mass. Okay. Not to be confused with Avogadro. Or Mendeleev, for that matter. Ivanhoe by Walter Scott. Ivanhoe romance. Setting stories in Scotland. Scott's best known and most influential novels. England in the Middle Ages, tournaments, outlaws, witch trial. Okay, this really gives a glimpse into the Middle Ages. Many Anglo-Saxon noble families, a time when nobility in England is overwhelmingly Norman, while as a Saxon protagonist, Sir Wilfrid of Ivanhoe was out of favor for his father's allegiance to the Norman king Richard the Lionheart. After the Third Crusade, when the Crusaders were still returning to their homes in Europe, King Richard, who had been captured by Leopold of Austria, is on his still to be in captivity. Okay. Here's King Richard on the Crusade. Siege of Acre. I don't really know the Crusade history very well. I know a lot about the Third Crusade actually because it played Stronghold Crusader, which featured a lot of these people like Frederick Barbarossa and Richard the Lionheart. But other than that, I don't really know that much. I know about Saladin and the Calphas. Okay. Rebecca's trial and Ivanhoe's reconciliation. Long and happy life together. Quit England for Granada. Oh, that is a beautiful building. Trial for witchcraft. Rebecca on the portrait of Torquilstone Castle. What is that? Ivanhoe's Castle. For the Technicolor production. Ivanhoe. By Walter Scott. Okay. The Trout Quintet. Trout Quintet. Popular name for the piano quintet, A major D, or Franz Schubert. Piano quintet was played, composed 22 years old, is not published until a year after his death. Hold on, so Schubert only lived 29 years old. No, 31 years old. Oh, poor Schubert. Who's his wife? Oh, wait. That was Schumann. Wife is Clara Schumann. Okay. So there's a difference between Schumann and Schubert. Well, obviously, but yeah. What period was Schumann from? Okay, there was some overlap between Robert Schumann and Clara Schumann, who were both musicians. When did Schumann die? Okay, yeah. Schumann lived a lot longer than Robert. Or Robert Schumann lived a lot longer than Clara Schumann. Nicknamed the Trout. Lied lid for. Allegro vivace. Dun, 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 dun. This would be interesting to listen to. Should listen to this. Trout Quintet. Oh wow, this is 40 minutes. Okay, then I will save it for later. Okay, Ivanhoe, we have that done. What is the EKG? The electrocardiogram. ECG or EKG refers to the electrical signal from the heart to check for different heart conditions. Okay. Okay, checking for heart conditions. Alright. It's an application of that, medical uses. Let's look at the history. Oh, is that the thing people put on, like, your arms to measure your heart rate? Oh, there's math. Okay. Virtual electrode. Cool. EKG. Okay, EKG. Heart. Alright. What else? Oh, Brad Cooper is an actor. British Academy Award. Okay, so he's a pretty famous actor. 6 Golden Globe Awards. Who did he play? Okay, breakthrough and established actor. Thriller films. Portraying actor Christian Bale in one film. Okay, R-rated films. An old standard playing his aggressive, crocky frat boy. Snarl of rage that masks some anxiety. It's hard to account for it is to miss. Cooper, professional expansion, personal life. Engaged to the actress, filed for divorce. Oh, that was quick. Okay. None of his partners were. Okay. Got a child. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Bradley Cooper. Hemolymph. Okay, a fluid equivalent to blood in invertebrates. That's a hemolymph. Cool. Hemolymph. Alright. We're somewhat done. We got a few more terms to go. Oh no, we have a lot more to go. Okay. Triangular numbers. What is a ziggurat? Ziggurat is a type of massive structure built in Mesopotamia. Terrace compound of successfully reducing layer. Okay. Sort of like a pyramid. Okay. The Great Ziggurat of Ur, which is where Abraham is from. Early Bronze Age, Neo-Babylonian period. Restored by King Nabonidus. Partially reconstructed. Oh, this is huge, yeah. The Great Ziggurat of Ur
Ziggurat now destroyed. Key. Gods lived in the temple at the top of the ziggurats, only priests. That is also quite similar to the Jewish temple. Baghdad. None of these shrines have survived. A high place on which escape. Rising water that annually. Okay. Security. The shrine is small, one with 3 staircases. A small number of guards can prevent non-priests from spying on the rituals, such as the nation of rituals like Elunsian. Shiavia Shaniat Mutiniota. Okay. Right. Cult of Demeter. Okay. Interesting. Burning of sacrificial animals. Okay, a ziggurat. Pyramid. Ritual temple. Priests go on the top and do weird things. Cool. Sacrifices. Thing about Malcolm X popped up. Since it's Black History Month. Or Malcolm Little. Later, El Hajj Malik El Shanabs. Okay, what was he known for? No. Nation of Islam. Purging black self-reliance and the return of African diaspora. To Africa. Malcolm, don't eat any more pork and don't smoke any more cigarettes. I'll show you how to get out of prison. What? You're in a prison named Satan. Being receptive to the message of the Nation of Islam. Elijah Muhammad. Not some past early ministry. Muhammad. Betty Sanders. Betty Axe. Social ones it doesn't. Six daughters. Tala Shabazz. Attila the son. Ruler of the Huns. Okay. Quibbla. Three gunmen. Okay. Kublai Khan. Gordon Parks was your godfather. Malachi and Malak Khan. Okay, death threats. She was assassinated. Interview Gordon Parks, who is her second daughter's godfather. The Nation of Islam was actively trying to kill him. Oh. Oh no. Oh, he died on he died on February 19th. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the 59th year since his death. 21 gunshot wounds to the chest, left shoulder, arms, and legs, and 10 buckshot wounds from shotgun blast. Ah. Norman 3X Butler and Thomas 15X Johnson. Louis Earl. Streetcar accident. Black Legion. Rented out Parford Garden and her son's hunted game. Adventists were the friendliest white people I'd ever seen. Mugshot. Lawrence. Michigan before graduating. Checked out high school after. The practice was, oh my goodness, okay. Yeah, so there is trauma growing up. Nation of Islam. Dysphoria. Okay, it's just sort of a religious movement. Okay, cool. Alright, now I know more about Malcolm X, or Malcolm Little, or Shabazz. Shanti by T.S. Eliot. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Oh, okay, yeah, alright. No, let's just read this. Oh, this is long. Okay. Then I will read the Wikipedia article. Cruel's the cruelest month. I will show you fear in a handful of dust. These fragments I have shored against my ruins. Voice of satire and prophecy. Game of chess. The fire sermon. Death by water. And what the thunder said. Whoa, this sounds really cool, actually. Should I read this? If I read this, will probably take like 10-15 minutes. Alright, April is the cruelest month breeding. Look us out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. Winter kept us warm, covering earth as in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers. Summer surprised us, coming over the Starnbergies. With a shower of rain, we stopped in the Conad and went on in sunlight into the Hofgarten and drank coffee and talked for an hour. What is the Hofgarten? It's German for Garden. Okay. Drink coffee and talk for an hour. Bin Gar Keen Russian Stem Osletin. And when we were children staying at the Archduke's, my cousins, he took me out on a sled and I was frightened. He said, Marie, Marie, hold on tight, and down we went in the mountains. Though you feel free, I read much of the night and go south in the winter. What are the roots of that clutch? Where branches grow out of this stony rubbish, son of man, you cannot say or guess, for you know only a heap of broken images. Son of man, yeah, okay, so there's a lot of biblical allusions. Since well, the manner in which Shakespeare, Homer, and the drawings of Michelangelo, Raphael, and Charles McCoxus and contemporary cultivated consequences, fragments of rotations, some tellers to be or not to be under this button, one touch of nature. Okay, where the sun leaks and the dead tree gives no shelter, the cricket no relief, and the dry stone no sound of water, only there is shadow under this red rock. Come in under the shadow of this red rock, and I will show you something different from either. Your shadow at the morning street behind you, or your shadow at the evening street is right to meet you. I will show you fear in a handful of dust. More German. You gave me Huygens. What is that? Okay, you gave me the plants, type of plants. How do you pronounce that? Hyacinth? Okay. A year ago, they called me the Hyacinth girl, yet when we came back late from the Hyacinth garden, your arms full and your hair wet, I could not speak. My eyes filled as I was neither living nor dead, and I knew nothing looked me into the heart of light. The silence owed Ed Lir das Mir. Madame Sorotis. Famous clairvoyant. Okay. Had a bad cold, nevertheless is known to be the wisest woman in Europe with a wicked pack of cards. Here's a G, is your card, the notion sailor, those pearls, where his eyes look. Here's Belladonna, Lady of the Rocks, Lady of Situations. Okay, so we're doing tarot cards, alright. Hanged Man, feared death by water. I saw crowds of people wandering in the rain. Unreal City. 7 old men. Unreal City, the city full of dreams or ghosts. Or they clean passers-by. Unreal City's modern London. Urgency makes up the final piece. Okay. This is pretty gothic. So many not death and undone. So many sighs, short and frequent. Sighs, one street. The chorus you played. The garden has begun to you will bloom this year as a sun. Keep the dog. Okay, game of chess. Oh, that Shakespearean ring. Or that Shakespearean rag. It's so elegant, it's so intelligent. What should I do now? What should I do? I shall ran out as I am and walk the street with my hair down. So, what shall we do tomorrow? What shall we ever do? The hot water ran at 10. If it rains, closed car at 4. And we shall play a game of chess, pressing idlest eyes and waiting for a knock upon the door. Hurry up, please, it's time. Hurry up, please, it's time. Okay, good night, ladies, good night, sweet ladies, good night, good night. Hamlet. I feel you. Oh, yeah. Also, like, in Feistian. Nope. Never mind. Bro, my neck hurts after this. Unreal City, under the brown fog of winter noon. Sir Eugene is the summer merchant. Seems London. Tune at the Cannon Street Hotel following working at the Metropole. Fortnite dead. Forget about the Chronicles. Who is that? Oh, I get made him up. Okay. Philibus the Phoenician. Who's the third who walks beside you? Ah, the road to Emmaus. Duh. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Wasteland. Thebes. Blind seer from Thebes. This gives prophecy. Sexual transformation. Man to woman. Theorists, Homer's Odyssey, Ovid's Metamorphoses, and Sophocles' Oedipus Rex can offer connections. Cryptic prophecy, dangerous sexual power, stagnant relationships, plagued land, and death by water. Oh, that Shakespeare rag. Unreal City is London. These pearls that were his eyes. Okay, Madame Sororitas is tarot card predictor. Good pad of cards. Tarot pack of cards. Symbolic register. Okay. Pearls that were his eyes. A heap of broken images. Mary. April is the cruelest month. The Canterbury Tales. Okay, alright. That was The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. I can probably get it now. Alright. Impedance. Oh, okay. Resistance, inductor. Alternating current presented by the combined effect of resistance and reactance in a circuit. Okay, so the real part of impedance is resistance. Opposition alternating circuits by inductance and capacitance, along with resistance to elements of impedance. Involve transfer of electrical energy. No dissipation occurs in resistance. I'm not that good at electrodynamics. I need to sort of work on that, to be honest. Okay, denoted by the symbol X. Reactance. ZR plus JX. Okay. Impedance. Okay. Vivaldi is the Red Priest. Where is Santa Fe? It's in New Mexico. Okay. There's a question on a SIM card. SIM card is an integrated circuit. Subscriber identification module. Well, I mean, I do know what a SIM card is. Contains a unique serial number. Ciphering information. Local network. Okay, so there's a ton of stuff on a SIM card. That's actually really cool. Oh my goodness, I can hardly read this. Okay, there's a software update for SIM cards in 2016. eSIM, okay. 2016, so using the concept of automatic SIM reactivation. Use expired SIMs to purchase new ones. Should resubscribe to the operator, okay. Okay, so there were updates made to the SIM card in 2016. DeFrancesco. What? Oh, maybe he's a. Okay, I don't know. Christ of. What? Christian What? No. Okay. I'm not really sure where to go for that one. Okay. Alright, that was only half of. Okay. Dang, I have so much stuff. Yeah, okay. Parasites are eukaryotes. The Last of Us is a TV show, right? It's a drama series. Oh, what? What does the mushroom do? What the heck? Some of the video game franchise. Oh, mass fungal infection. Okay, cool. Oh wait, yeah, it's that game. Okay, yeah, The Last of Us. All right. Yeah, there's a dude called David in there. I think that was a clue. Oh, and deer meat. Okay. Uh, okay. Under Ronald Reagan, there was the H-1B and H-2B visas. Chamber of Commerce is the largest lobbyist group. Uh, Gills, arthropods, Brody photo, an ideal Peloponnesian War. Nibelungen Overture. Okay. The Rings de Nibelungen, which inspired the Lord of the Rings. North Legendary Sagas, the Nibelungen, War of the Land of the Dead, Cycle, Stage Festival Play, Ring Wagner's Ring or The Ring. Content, extraordinary style, takes over 4 nights at the opera. 15 hours, oh my goodness. The Rings der Nibelungen. This is actually really cool though, huh? Okay, and it says a lot about German culture, if I'm interested. So 225 BC is the Peloponnesian War. Oh no, that had nothing to do with 225 BC. It was 425 BC. Peloponnesian War between Athens and Sparta. You know, the interesting thing is they all saw that coming, but it was sort of inevitable. And their respective allies for the hegemony of the Greek world. Undecided for a long time until the invention of the Persian Empire for Sparta. The Spartan fleet, with Persian subsidies, finally defeated Athens to appear Spartan hegemony over Greece. Oh, so the Spartans won. Okay. It's funny because we were saying we should make our school the Wathenians. You know, instead of like being the warriors, we should be the Wathenians. Blaj is the IKEA shark. How did that appear on a... Oh my goodness. Who's Jungkook? Oh. Okay. Golden Temple. Sikh warrior. Ramahyaf. Misa. Okay. Alright. Okay, that was stuff in the matches. Now we need more stuff. Okay. You know what? I will leave that to tomorrow because it is getting late and I have learned for 90 minutes.